Hey, I'm back. You might be wondering, where was I in my extremely creaky chair? My house has been going through renovation for the past month and a half, and I haven't been able to actually get any videos done, mainly because my old desk I kind of threw it away. Why did you throw it away, Noah? Very simple answer. My dad built it for me when I was very young, and it was not technically a desk, it was more of like a little play area. And I just kind of turned it into a desk for my reviews. And long story short, that thing was gonna kill itself and take me with it, or I just get rid of it entirely. So I've gotten rid of it. This setup you're currently seeing is not going to be the setup I'm gonna be using for videos. I'm just gonna be using this for a couple videos just to get it done. Also, my house is very echoey now because I don't have carpet anymore. Anyway, so this setup is not going to be the one I'm going to have for all of the videos, not even all the videos in this series. I will get to that. But this is the one I'm going to work with for now, for the next couple videos. So don't lose your mind. Anyway, so the 4th anniversary of my YouTube channel happened a month ago. I was absolutely planning to do a big video for my 4th anniversary. But again, mostly a combination of time restraints, my house being renovated, and just a bunch of other stuff, just happening all at once, and I just couldn't. It was feasibly impossible. It was unfeasible to actually go in and get that done. I could not. I couldn't do it. So you're gonna be getting this crappy setup for a bit. Let me adjust the light. That light fell. Oh god, this thing sucks. Okay, I think I got that better. This is my light. This is how it is gonna be the next couple. For the next couple of weeks. Yes, it is just taped there. It's always been taped. The background's always been taped. Why does this change anything? Okay, so for the 4th anniversary special, I will be reviewing I'll be reviewing and ranking every single Studio Series figure that I have. I don't have that many. Am I going to do this all in one video? No! I was going to, but then I realized that it would be impossible. So I'm just gonna go it out one at a time. I'm gonna go each wave, and if I only have one figure from a specific wave, then I'll bunch them in with a different wave. Okay. I was going to do this video, and I realized, and I was like, oh, I don't have that many Studio Series figures, my original plan was I'm gonna do it all in one video. The idea of me going a wave at a time popped up when time restraints started coming in, and I thought, oh, I should just do one. I should do one wave at a time, but then I was like, no, I don't have enough figures in wave 1 to do a wave at a time. Then I checked, I'm only missing 2, so let's do that then. Number 1, Bumblebee! So, this figure, I'm pretty sure that this figure is fairly infamous within the Transformers community for its really bad tolerances, I think is what it's known for. Anyway, so this figure sucks, don't buy it. Anyway, so when I purchased this figure, it was on a really bad day, and I was in a bad mood, and I got it, and the figure turned out to be bad, and I opened it in a car, and its little hip piece fell off, and I had to look for it, and it took 3 hours, and then I found it, and then I hated it, and then I bought it again. Anyway, so how this figure works, it is a fairly okay figure. There is some massive paint chipping on mine, but that's just from mishandling and me having it in a bin for the past couple friggin' years. There's paint chipping on the knees and the arm. I think that might be it. There's probably someone else, and these wings are floppy as hell. Look at this crap. Anyway, posability. There's a bulge right at the head and shoulders. There's also a hinge joint there, but that's pretty much just for transformation. There's a rotation here and a bend. There is no rotation at the wrist, sadly, but hey, it's a 2017 deluxe figure. It's not gonna have the best articulation. It's not gonna have like seed level articulation, guys. Uncommon for the time. There's a waist rotation. There's a ball jointed hips. Hips are actually really solid. Rotation, and these things move. There are knees and there are feet. And the posability is okay. It's not that bad, but definitely has been beaten out by modern standards. It is definitely not up to modern standards. If this figure were to be remade today, I would personally think that Hasbro would do a significantly better job. Because what this figure is more or less a heavy reshell. Are we still saying reshell, or did we leave that back in Combiner Wars, actually? I'm gonna say reshell. It is a heavy reshell of the Transformers The Last Knight to Bumblebee, not the first one, the good one. And you can kind of tell when you have both figures. I don't have one, but I did compare it to a friend's the other day, and yeah, very similar. To go into the compliments of this figure, I would say, is very, like, all of the joints, except for the freaking wings, that thing makes me mad. All of the joints, all of the posability is really tight. All of the ball joints, all the hinge joints are really tight. They're not too tight, they're not too tight, they're not too loose, they're really good, they're right in the middle. You can definitely hold a pose. But, actually, no, one more compliment. The paint is actually really good. Now on to my many issues with this figure. I think I just fixed the acoustics. I put a pillow in the corner, so it should be less echoey now. Okay, so this figure has many problems. I've already gone over this, and I have said that this pops off, but this isn't the only thing on this figure that pops off. This pops off. These things pop off. This thing pops off. Twice. This pops off. Wrist pop off. Where did that go? Okay, he comes to bits. What's your point? That's not the issue. The issue is that he comes to bits too easily. Here, an example from this exact friggin' wave. Studio Series Starscream. Let me just... Hey, bud. Studio Series Starscream. There are bits of him that love to pop off. These little things, they pop off. But they don't pop off easily. You actually have to try and pop it off for them to pop off his wrist. They pop off, but you have to actually try and pop them off. This figure is the perfect example of tolerance of friction pegs. Listen, this figure right here is the perfect example of tolerance in friction joints being able to be good and not come to bits. This one goes against that exact philosophy. Figures that have friction joints most of the time are extremely well made, but with this figure, things needed to be pinned in. The hips, the back wings, the hood back there, the hands. Most of this figure needed to be pinned in. I know it was probably a cost-cutting measure because it's a deluxe figure, I don't want to put too much metal in it, but I would this figure was so close to being really good. The only issue that it had was the tolerance. Oh yeah, this guy transforms. Ah! Oh yeah, the combo is actually pretty nice. It holds together pretty well. I'm pretty sure all the wheels are pinned in, so they roll like a dream. Oh yeah, the paint matching with the yellow isn't the best, but I don't care. Oh yeah, his arm also switches out to be this gun. It's actually a really cool feature, and I wish more Bumblebee figures had it, but I'm not gonna go back and refilm it. Don't buy this figure. But I will say that the molding in car mode is pretty nice. So nice about it first. Yay. Number 2, split up! Oh, hell yeah, I actually like this figure. Woo! Even though this figure, I'm pretty sure, had less of a budget than the Bumblebee, because, you know, Bumblebee's a cash cow, this figure is so friggin' good. Like, the car mode is amazing. Don't get me wrong. This car mode is pretty good. The kill underneath is egregious, but the car mode is pretty good. I'll take away that amazing comment that I just said. Like, the part that is the car is really amazing. But there's a lot of these awkward gaps and mismatched paint. And there's a Decepticon logo. Isn't this supposed to be military built by KSI? How far does this go back? Where's that noise in the background? Also, it doesn't roll as bad as you'd think he would, considering it's just the normal clip wheels. That's pretty good. Even with the junk under the trunk. Now, don't get me wrong, if it's the first or third, between the first and third time transforming this figure, you're definitely going to get some dragging on the table. But, once you get a hang of it and get all this stuff situated, it should be fine. Also, the paint's amazing. I don't know why, it looks really good. It looks really good under the sparkle of the light. It looks good in the... It's good. Your eyes are beautiful. It's a dumb joke. Also, it comes with these. I don't know what these are. I suppose these are Ninja Stars, but he doesn't hold them in robot mode, so I don't know. You can peg into these little pegs in the car mode, so you do that, I guess. Oh yeah, time to buzzsaw some wheels that you're gonna have to get extremely close to. Most of the time, I just leave them underneath. I like that you don't have to take them off for the transformation. You might be wondering, Noah, where are the other 2 Ninja Stars? Well, I did get this figure second hand, and it did not have the other 2 Ninja Stars, but that's fine. Also, his head was detached in the box. I don't know how that happened. This robot mode looks friggin' amazing. I do have one short problem with it though. The torso is a little too low and chunky in my opinion. Also, his shoulders are really low. But I am impressed they were able to get the wheels inside of the torso without the transformation becoming convoluted and without there being much trouble. What the hell is this? What, are they trying to say this is his arm gun? What, do they think I'm stupid? I'm tired of people making that assumption. There are certain things that do point to the era of which this figure was made, aka late Prime Wars. I mean, there were certain things like lack of a waist rotation and the hands just being molded into the arms and this laziness, which do tell you what era it is from. And I do wish they would do a remaster over the remaster in recent times with modern engineering, modern articulation, and modern paintwork. Not modern QC, because that's garbage. Before we go into the articulation, I would like to go over his accessories, which are these again. If you had all four of them would have the ability to peg into the back, which they do. You could put them on either one or on either side. Does not matter. I put them on the top personally. I do know a couple people who do put them on the inside. Okay, on to the posability. Ball is running at this part likes to peg up sometimes. It's fine. hit the camera. Ball joint at the shoulders and rotation at the bicep. Ratcheted elbows on a deluxe figure, which I don't understand. I mean, I'm not complaining, but it's very bizarre. Oh, crap! There's a ball joint at the hip and a rotation. Knees. Toes. Oh, did I forget to mention that his wings can do this and rotate and this because I'm stupid? The posability is okay. You can put him in many poses, but it really does. But he's not up to modern standards. And posability was pretty good for the time, but we're not in that time, sadly. Anyway, so this figure is definitely a great figure. Definitely better than the one that came out back during Age of Extinction. Definitely better than most Studio Series figure. Not most Studio Series figure. It's definitely on the higher end. It's not as bad as some of the modern figures, and it's not as good as some of the better figures in the line. So yeah, I totally recommend it. And it's pretty. It's pretty nice. This is definitely going above Bumblebee, because to be honest, everything probably will. So nice, I bought it twice. Number 3, Optimus Prime. Next up is Studio Series Optimus Prime. Not that one. Not that one either. No, not that one. This one. You know, this one. The dark one. The very dully colored one. I remember really liking this figure back when it came out, even though I have both of the objectively better versions. I'd say the molding and rivets and detail are all pretty spectacular, but the colors are drabbingly dull, and it rolls like a nightmare. Like, the legs are always either misaligned or just not straight, so it won't roll normally. And some things don't even like to peg in. Like these things. Seriously, those are going off before they're going on. And as I mentioned earlier, since the knees don't peg in very well, they're very easy to wobble around and make it really hard for this thing to roll in straight. Also, the bottom of the feet as the trailer hitch. It's actually not that bad. I mean, it's a clever idea, but I feel like if they would paint the bottom of the feet, which actually doesn't sound like a good idea now that I say it. If they would have cast the feet in blue plastic and paint the tops of them silver, I feel like that would have worked significantly better. I know this started with Invasion Mode Optimus Prime, and that figure did have blue feet, but that figure was 4 years old when this figure came out, and it's 9 years old now. And God, I feel old. Also, the tiny smokestacks are pretty pitiful. I mean, I know it's a safety issue, and I know some KOs fixed that, but like, why was it a problem in the first place? I mean, I probably shouldn't be complaining, considering if they weren't that small, I probably just would have broken them off at some point. Like how I did with my old Dark of the Moon Voyager Optimus. I think it was the volcano one? I don't know. Also, I lost one of the wheels. Yeah, I went looking for it for this video, but I could not. I went through bin after bin after bin. After bin, after bin, after bin. And I could not find that stupid wheel. I was considering buying another one of these figures just to get the wheel, but then I realized how stupid that is. Yeah, this mode also has weapon storage, I guess. You can peg the swords on the top if you want to freaking do that. Peg in there. Peg in, you son of a gun. There you go. You can peg them both in if you want, but like, why would you? I actually like how they peg into the feet, because when they do, they actually kind of gel pretty well with the rest of it, even though there is a sharp add-on of orange. Also, the trailer hitch is able to attach to the Dark of the Moon Studio Series Optimus, but I'm not going to be getting that trailer out yet, so I'll get to that later. Okay, robot mode. Anyway, even though I did have a lot of complaining to do about the alt mode and the overall drab color scheme, this figure is pretty dang swish. It is the swishest. It is sideswipe swish. Focus camera. There you go. Back to this, I guess. I feel that the molding never got better in Studio Series after the first wave. Because, to be honest, the molding for this figure, this Optimus figure, is pretty fantastic. The amount of molded detail and the amount of posability they were able to pack into this figure is pretty darn good. This was before the modern standard, but they were still able to give it about modern standard articulation, which is freaking... How are you doing that? But again, the colors are so drab. I know this is based off of the One Force scene in Revenge of the Fallen, where it was a gloomier color palette, but gosh dang. Could you turn the saturation up just a little bit? Anyway, so this is Optimus, in my opinion, has the best accessories out of all the other Studio Series Optimuses. Optimi? He does hold them, but it looks pretty convincing, as in the movie they did come out of his little wrist guards, and it looks pretty convincing. I'm not gonna lie, unless you really try and look at it, can't really tell that that's what those are. Also, apparently there was some variants of this figure, not including this premium finish. I'm not buying that one, by the way. There were two versions of this figure. That's a premium finish, of course. One, which is the rare version which I have, has the orange be more clear, while the other version is a more smoky colored and you can't really see through it. I do like the more clear look better. And I wish they kept it in later figures. Anyway, so with the swords, you can put him in some pretty good poses. Ball joint at the head. Rotation at the shoulder. Shoulder pad moves so it can go about that high. Rotation here. 90-degree elbows. You can cheat some sword-wielding wrists. Rotation. Rotation at the hips. Hinge and swivels in the hips along with a rotation. The knees can bend way over 90. Knee pads move. And a combination of rotations and hinge joints allowing for some pretty good foot articulation. Though his posability is pretty standard for today, for back when this figure came out, I want to say maybe early 2018, this is friggin' phenomenal, and it holds up really well. Nothing has really broken off of this thing except for this, but that's more because of my own idiocy. None of the paint has chipped except for these smokestacks because, again, of my own idiocy. And overall, I still really like this figure. Yes, the paint could be brighter, and yes, the back kibble is pretty bad. Wait, did we not talk about the back kibble? So the back kibble, it is too flat. Apparently for some people this is too flat. I think it's okay. It leads to a cleaner physique, and in later figures they would fix and make a more accurate back. You could do this. You could angle it and make it a little bit better if you want, but I like this because it's just cleaner. It takes up less space. Yes, the kibble is not the best, and also the chest windows are a little too wide, but I would say that this figure holds up really well. I still really enjoy this guy. Posability is amazing. The paint, while could be a little brighter, is very durable and doesn't want to chip. Very nice. And the accessories that come with this one are probably the best out of all the Optimuses. I mean, if you want bang for your buck, I'd recommend going for the Dark of the Moon version. But if you want a fun little Optimus that is pretty easy to get KO versions of on Amazon, I mean, my friend got one, then I could not recommend this figure anymore. Anyway, so subscribe, drop a like, and see you next time. which is right now. Number 4, Starscream. Oh my god. Okay, time for this thing. This is a good figure. It is a upscale of the... I'm pretty sure it's a pretty common known fact that this is a upscale of the Dark of the Moon deluxe class Starscream, which has some drawbacks. I mean, one, the kibble is kind of a lot. This thing makes the hunt for the Decepticons leader look manageable. I mean, this technically is an easier transformation, but I feel like this figure would have been a lot better if they would have just, I don't know, downscaled the leader class. I mean, why not? They presumably still have the cab files. Hell, they friggin' still had the cab files for all those Beast Formers, those Beast Wars reissues, even the ones nobody cared about. Come on, just give Daddy what he wants. I should probably stop talking before this video gets demonetized. I think these videos get monetized anyway. Screw you, Susan. Oh yeah, this is a toy review. So, this figure is the Movie 1 Transformers Studio Series Starscream. I think this is number 6? Yeah, this is number 6. It's number 6. And holy guacamole, this jet road is kind of amazing. Like, seriously, from no angles could you see the kibble unless it's like that. But even like this, it's not that bad. Like, this is not that bad. Like, once it's sitting there, can't really tell it's a Transformer besides the obvious Decepticon symbol. Also, I can't tell if this is weathering or if it's shading, but the paint finish looks friggin' amazing. Like, some of the best I've ever seen. Get the camera there. Anyway, so this figure is very nice. Even though these backends are on hinges, they're on tight hinges, so they're not gonna like fall. So they won't mess you up when you're swooshing them around, if you know what I'm saying. Oh, also, one of the original reasons why I didn't buy this, because I did buy this off eBay, one of the reasons why I did not buy this off when it was released was the yellow cockpit, because it was just, didn't like it. I didn't think it would work, because like the leader class figure, I felt like it worked a little bit better, because it was more of a burnt orange and a yellow, and like the figure itself was more of a dark gray with black. This is more of a light bluish gray with white accents. So I thought this contrast wouldn't work as well, but you can't really tell. So, nice, it works fine. I'll tell you what doesn't work fine, the freaking repaint, Jesus. I do want to buy that figure eventually, but like, I'm good with this one for now. I do prefer the tattooed designs, but it's like, why does that one look so much worse in this one instance? He does come with some accessories. He comes with this little rocket launcher thing, and if you got the repaint, it comes with this buzzsaw. I don't own the repaint, but my friend gave me this, so I felt the need to include it. Anyway, there's not much to say in this video so far, so yeah, transformation. Holy hoot and a hollers, Batman! This robot mode's amazing! I mean, the proportions are a little wonky. Maybe I don't like the fact that his arms are super thin, and yeah, I missed the butterfly joint that was on the leader. But this figure looks pretty much perfect. I think I fixed the lining. Is that better? I'm filming this at night, unlike all the other bits, so yeah. Anyway, all the painted details, everything looks just freaking spectacular. Like, this figure feels great. It's nice and weighty, the joints are all nice and smooth, and nothing feels really that off. I mean, proportionally, he's a little wonky. It's not one-to-one to the Scream Hunter, he's a little more blocky than I'd like. But, to be honest, just if you're just someone who just wants a cool version of this figure that isn't the leader class or the deluxe one, this one's freaking amazing. I can't tell you about the Revenge of the Fallen one because I don't have that one, but I want to get it eventually. But from what I heard, the figure is like exactly the same. So whichever deco you like better. One thing I don't like is the hands, though. They're a little too flat and gangly for my liking. Maybe something more curved, like this or something. Maybe something else. Maybe even add like finger joints. But those were before Chug stuff really had that. Is this considered part of Chug? It is Generations, isn't it? No, whatever. This isn't mainline Chug. This is like offside. This is not Hasbro's priority. Anyway, I think it's freaking beautiful. I keep accentuating this, but this might be probably the first accurate. This might be the most accurate so far of the first wave Studio Series figures, which is saying a lot. Oh yeah, what's not beautiful though, that giant freaking screw on the side of his head is not pretty. I feel like it's more on us to just keep that away. This is the good side. Keep the paparazzi on this side. Ugh. I don't think anyone got that reference. Anyway, the way he holds his weapons is pretty darn cool. I mean, you could use the 5mm peg and put it in the hole, but like, what are we, normal? No, what you gotta do is partially transform the hand and then plug in the missile launcher. I personally grew up with the Hunt for the Decepticon Starscream, who had a missile launcher, but it didn't have the little wings on the side of it, so it just like, it was what I was used to, but then after having this one for so long, it just looks so off now. Also, it is compatible with this, so you can transform it. Plug it into his hand. So now you can dual wield like a proper boss. See, now it looks like that one render with that had the accessory that it didn't come with. Anyway, posability. Swivel up the head, and because of transformation, it can hinge up. A universal joint for everything. Ball joint at the wrist. These things are like model kit. These hands, they suck. This is the only part of the figure that I really just don't like. This joint, if you're into that. And some hinges and rotations. You can move his heel like that if you're into that. And this is for Tyler. And Tyler, I'm like, oh yeah. Nobody else is gonna get that joke. So easily, this is the best figure so far. I mean, yeah, he's proportionally wonky in some areas, but he's still way better in paint, color, just overall vibes. He's so much better, more fun, more playable, more posable than pretty much everything we've gone over so far. I mean, yeah, he doesn't have a butterfly joint or ankle, but like, what was I saying? Sure, he doesn't have a butterfly joint or an ankle pivot, but like, who cares? It's a toy. Anyway, so yeah, there's a lot of fun to be had with this figure. It's really good. Stylistically, it's great. Posability could be better, but it is great for its time. And yeah, it's just the best one overall so far. Where Stinger was a little proportionally wonky, where Bumblebee fell to bits, where Optimus was a little too drab for everyone's liking, except for mine apparently. This figure has to be the most straight-ahead, honest-to-goodness modern Voyager of this design, and to be honest, it's probably the best one you can go for. The original one has missile fingers and a concept art head. The Revenge of the Fallen has weird elbows and things that just aren't accurate. And Dark of the Moon is the deluxe. Also, I forgot to mention, they put gap fillers in this, even when the original one was just hollow. Yeah, there's no race rotation or crunch, but it's like, what waste? Moving on. Number 5, Blackout, kind of, but not really, but also yes. Last but not least is, don't mind the subtle review station change. I've kind of upgraded a little bit. Last but not least is Blackout. Except, minor issue, I don't have Blackout. I was going to buy it back when it came out, but that was before I had money, so I didn't want to splurge $50 on a Transformer. And I also had the chance to buy it years later at the flea market for $45, but the lack of wrist swivels just kind of ruined it for me. So I'm not going to be reviewing Blackout in this, but I do have his upgraded version, Grinder. They're the same guy, shut up. I'm not going to be doing an in-depth review of this guy like I did all the other characters in Wave 1, but because I do want to review this guy later, in a later wave overview, maybe, I don't know. But I will say, I will give you my overall thoughts on the figure. It's good. It's really good. I'm not going to show you the alt mode and the accessories and all that, because again, I want to save this for a separate video, because technically it's not blackout, but whatever. The paint job is darker and has more rust patches, which I think is a significant improvement from the plain gray of the original. Posability is great with more tighter tolerances, so the little side parts won't unpeg like on the original. And also, he has a wrist rotation. The original just had a hinge joint, so he was constantly doing the limp wrist pose. Good to know this one's not overtly gay. That's a hateful stereotype. Shut up! Anyway, this figure is pretty good. The painting's amazing, but going off of Grindr, I am going to have to take away some of the things I liked about this version, because again, I'm reviewing based off the blackout and not the Grindr. The Scorponok was okay. I remember my friend gave him to me as like a birthday gift because he said I wanted a Scorponok, and he gave me that thing. And I don't know where I put it. And we're gonna have to take away, but we're also gonna have to take away the points I liked for the paint and the points I liked for the wrist rotation, and also some of the tolerance upgrades. So without further ado, time for the ranking. Was this a surprise? Like, was this a surprise? I went on for 10 minutes at the beginning of the video declaring on how much I hate this thing. And like, come on. The figure by itself it's a good concept. I liked the molding, I liked the weapons, I liked the posability, but I've never in my entire life see a figure get bogged down so badly by quality control issues of all things. Seriously, I have the later re-release version that has better tolerances, and I love that figure, but I despise this figure with a friggin' passion. Moving on. The one time I want it to fall apart, it doesn't fall apart. I friggin' hate this thing! Oh. These things pop off. Damn it, man, this hurts me. This physically hurts me. It doesn't hurt me because the figure is bad. I went on praising how underrated this figure is and how much I personally like it for 10 minutes near the beginning of the video. But it's just, compared to the rest of the line, it's not, compared to the rest of Wave 1 that I have, it's not fighting tooth and nail to be the definitive new version of this design like all the others are. This figure tries its best to translate the Stinger design, and even though I do prefer this to the normal design, it doesn't necessarily proportionally look like Stinger too much. That's why I think it personally matches the KSI Century significantly better than it does Stinger. And the Kibble gun arm fusion cannon Fakeroonie thing is not too great. All it does is weigh down the arm and not much else. But that card is immaculate. Holy moly. Next up is Studio Series 05 Optimus. I swear, if this goes in the order in which I reviewed them, this is going to be funny. This figure is not the best. There are several versions that come after this that could easily replace this figure, and I understand why people don't like it. The colors are too gloomy, the chest is too wide, the accessories... Okay, the accessories are great, but... but I understand why people do not like this figure, and that's understandable. So I will not feel right putting it any higher on the list. But that does not mean that I do not like this figure. This was my default movie Optimus for many, many years, and it still kind of is. Because the SS-44 was, I got that to become my new default Optimus, but again, does not feel right. Not because I don't like that figure, but it's because it comes with too much stuff. And I don't feel right using that as my default Optimus without bringing in all of its extra goodies. Like, Starscream if the reason why I did not buy Coronation Starscream, even though all my friends said it was significantly better than the Earthrise one, was because I couldn't use that as my default Starscream, because then there was going to be one in a random Starscream, extra Starscream, and also he's gonna come with a bunch of stuff that I'm not gonna feel right not displaying him with. The thing with Transformers is when you display them, you gotta display them completely. I don't like putting weapons in a drawer, because then I'm gonna have to go through and find their weapons later if I want to display them differently. I just hit the camera, oof. Anyway, I still enjoy this figure very much. I prefer the darker colors, and I also just like how this one looks, because I think the other one just looked a little too thin for my liking. And don't get me wrong, these black bits are ugly, but I do still like this, and I am putting it at the number 3 spot. It pains me to put Grinder at this spot, but it does not pain me to put Blackout at this spot. Because of Blackout's drawbacks, including the paint and the lack of wrist swivel, unlike on this version, this figure, the original Blackout mold, is not the best. It's still good, and I would say that it actually looks better than the Masterpiece. I know, right? But the vibe's off. Plastic was thinner on that one. It had a whole bunch of issues that were drawing it back compared to this one, which is just so much better, so much higher quality. And it has wrist rotation, okay? It has a wrist swivel. That's... But I'm not counting Grindor, I'm counting Blackout. And going off of Blackout, going off Grindor, and minusing the stuff that I liked from Grindor, which is pretty much all the... Blackout is just worse Grindor, pretty much. Going off of this figure, I cannot put Studio Series Blackout any higher. For number 1, was it really a question? Starscream. To be honest, man, I filmed those Starscream bits like a couple weeks ago because, time's been rough. I have been doing a lot of things. Haven't had time to really get back into the groove of doing videos, and my lighting still isn't the best. But I will say that I do love this figure. I might be contradicting myself again, I don't know, I'm not gonna check. I did not like this figure as much when I first got it out of the box, but it has grown on me significantly. Is the leader class better? Of course the leader class is better. It's a leader class. And it's a freaking Hunt for the Decepticons leader class. So of course I'm gonna like it better. But this figure, just the vibes are right. It's to scale with everything else, and it's not a behemoth like the leader. The transformation's fun and intuitive. It's not a pain in the bumhole like the leader class. And I feel ever since my friend gave me the Buzzsaw, I've liked this figure so much better. The weapons are great. The posability is great. I still have the lack of a waist rotation. But again, what waist? And I do think the arms are a little too spindly. But compared to the rest of the wave, this figure is the most modern feeling. All the other figures have certain drawbacks that really tend to show their age. Because again, you gotta remember, Studio Series started off back in 2017, 2018. And their posability standard wasn't as high as it is now. Or just the overall quality standard isn't as high as it is now. And with that being said, this figure fits modern quality surprisingly well. I mean, yeah, the eyes are painted a little sloppily, but I don't feel bad putting this at the number 1 spot. It's posable, it's fun to transform, the accessories, if you were able to get the right ones, are great. And yes, I do prefer the tattooed look, but I will say, this figure is pretty poggers. Ew, I said that. Anyway, so expect me to do start doing weekly uploads. Maybe I'll get back into the groove of doing daily, but don't expect me to do anything special. I will do a whole I'm back video maybe later this week, but don't count on it. I'm tired of doing empty promises. Anyway, I'd like to thank a couple of my friends who convinced me to actually finish this and not quit. And yeah, be on the lookout for Chronicles of Jason 2 and 3. My friends are doing that. So, anyway, I love all 41 of you, and this is the 4th anniversary special 2 months late. Okay, bye.